Hi, my name is Mark Mitford. Today is Friday. It's time for Mark's Friday 3 and 3, where I share 3 great HR tips with you in 3 minutes. So, with that, let's go and get started. We're focusing on the STAR model, which is something we use with a lot of our prospective clients and our clients to work through some of the key HR processes and systems that we help them support. We're actually going to be focusing on the structure component or the structure point of the stars. So that's one you can actually see on the graphic that is shown here on the screen also. Getting your structure correct is a critical thing that every organization needs to do, especially an organization that's going through a lot of growth. When we think about structure, we're really thinking about when do you need to add a senior leader, such as a chief financial officer, a CFO, CMO, chief marketing officer, COO, chief operations officer. So if you do that too soon, there could be a lot of a very large expense for you that you're actually not utilizing somebody with that kind of talent and experience yet. So if you do too soon, that's not a good thing. If you do it too late, that's also not a good thing because your company growth could be hindered because you're actually not getting the type of thought leadership or leadership horsepower on your team you need to be able to fuel its growth successfully by having the right leaders in the right seats at the right time. So that's one of the key things you need to be focusing on there around structure. Another one is around when do you add as you continue to grow? When do you need to add another level of maybe mid level managers or supervisors within your organization? Again, this is something you really need to think about clearly. And before you add another level of management, one of the biggest things I would highly recommend you do, how are you going to be breaking up? What are going to be the roles and responsibilities that you divide up that were perhaps done by one individual and now are going to be done by two individuals? Making sure you have those clear roles and responsibilities defined before you actually go into the hiring mode for those individuals versus doing it a little bit backwards where you hire the person and then you figure out responsibilities during their first maybe 2, 3, 4 months with you, which could be extremely awkward. So making sure you feel that you actually get this done and you get this sorted out in advance. That's the other big thing. The other thing too to think about under structure, especially if you're a company that's growing through acquisitional growth, and you're actually acquiring or purchasing an organization, when you're doing an acquisition, you are going to be duplicating a lot of positions. So be very thoughtful about that during that acquisitional stage. And as you go into your period of due diligence, and once the deal is finalized and transacted, when you get the deal across the finish line, be thinking about what are you going to be doing? Because obviously you're going to have a lot of duplicate roles, such as perhaps a controller. You don't need two controllers, you only need one of them. So making sure you clearly think through that, because that's one of the key things with an acquisition. You can actually take several functions and you actually will be able to reduce the people within those functions, and then you'll actually be able to run more efficiently and be able to do things more profitably. So with that, those are some of the critical things you really need to think through. So I'm out of time right now. It's been great catching up with you today and talking about structure. With that, I'll let you get back to your finishing up before your weekend starts. So have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you again later. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye bye.